Welcome to Metamorphosis, the interview. My name is Andrea Olivares, and I am the director of the short film called Metamorphosis, Dancing on My Own. In here, you are going to learn a lot of secrets about my first animated film. Metamorphosis, Dancing on My Own, define it directly as a definition. It's an animated short film where the main character is a woman who is alone in a room where a priori there is nothing attractive, nothing that can call her attention. What is more, it is a simple cube with rounded corners where apparently nothing can happen, not even the basic actions a human being needs to develop, like sleeping, eating, or going to the toilet. In this sense, I wanted to face the most profound emptiness from the angst of nothingness. It is an emotional state that every human being at some point of their life has to face, has to cope with. It is the complete loss of identity. Let's say that it will be the absolutely loneliness where not even your consciousness is with you. And the only thing someone can feel at that point is emptiness, and that they cannot relate with it, so they cannot find their identity. And despite that, they don't have the resources to get out of that situation. In this case, our main character faces that moment of angst when, moved by the impersonate society tells us about seeking or searching for the happiness, she decides to run from all she knows, and then she achieves seeing beyond and starts to act by herself, and what is more important, to believe in herself by creating something by herself that is personal, that is unique. If there is something true, and more in situations where mental integrity is on the brink of collapse, it is that it is necessary to find help. However, I think it's essential to find someone's own way to get out of that situations, to at least to try it during the process. So let's say that Metamorphosis is a personal trip where I try each spectator to find themselves in the story, moved by their emotions and their thoughts. Well, Metamorphosis came up due to many reasons, and it has a lot of ways to be interpreted depending on the person who watches it. On the one hand, not focuses on personal situations, Metamorphosis emerges from something contradictory or foreign to what the short film narrates, which is social media. It is a complex topic that we can discuss, that we can criticize, because when someone feels that emptiness, draws on what is quick and easy and maybe less effective. These networks were created to be in society, as their name says, and thus someone can know what is happening around the world, but they are nowhere. So to see the picture, I was in that virtual world when suddenly I saw an advert about the first International Congress on Feminist Architecture and Cares, followed by Solas Festival in Madrid, and the idea of making a short film emerges in my mind. So like that, Metamorphosis started to spin in my head, and the first thing I thought was, will I be able to draw an entire choreography and to be able to see the movement? And well, as you can imagine, I was, and afterward I started to draw the entire story. On the other hand, talking about the content and maybe more personal situation or aspects, this short film arrived in a moment of need due to different situations that were happening in my surroundings. These situations made me think a lot, and somehow they made me reflect on what an individual needs, and also to think about life in general. I believe that is what the character of the film shows. And what is more, well, after finishing the film, I realized that there was a lot about myself and my relatives and the people I loved in it. And curiously, I hadn't seen it till the moment I finished it. When I was drawing or thinking or developing it, I didn't realize about it. But I think that it was really great to see my family and my relatives, their faces when they watched the film, and they discovered those different aspects that were related to what we lived together. And I think that moment was something unique and very special. Metamorphosis was made in a traditional way, but with the advantages that digital drawing can offer. This is the result of 2 months of intensive hard work, and my life at that moment was basically wake up to draw very soon, then going to the architectural studio to disconnect from this short film and to do other tasks, and then return home to just continue drawing till midnight. I don't want to say that I didn't enjoy it, because I will be lying. It was rather the opposite. The implication was maximum because my creative state of mind needed it. And however, there were moments where I didn't want to continue drawing, at least for hours. And my morale sometimes decayed, but nevertheless, the aim was very ambitious to me. I mean, the fact of doing something that I had never done before in a short period of time, that excuses or giving up was impossible. Therefore, Metamorphosis is the result of 24 frames per second, or what is the same, 24 hand drawings per second during 3 minutes. And we can translate it to 2 months, to 400 hours or 61 days of hard work. If what you want to know is how this story of Metamorphosis emerged, or what is the structural order of this short film, the truth is that it wasn't created like other stories that start from the beginning and then continue till finishing the story. This was created by starting in the middle, following by the beginning, and then finishing the story with the end. And this was because there never was a clear structure. So I think that is almost a miracle that actually this has coherence. Maybe this way of writing a plot worked in this case because the story evolved with me and I transformed the story to achieve the final result. And I have to confess that at the end of the story I realized that everything makes sense. Although I have to confess to that I really thought a lot about the final clips and they weren't the result of the personal moment. Well, maybe the title is a rather recurrent word. However, if it is effective or if it faithfully describes the content of the story, I think then that is the perfect title. To me, Metamorphosis means a renaissance after a secret process of transformation, as it happens with the cocoon from where a butterfly emerges. But this change, new facets of oneself appear, and also it means that someone can have a different relationship with oneself and with the world. This short film talks about transformation to discover new facets of oneself, exemplified by the alter ego or other self. Thus, this title was very appropriate. In the beginning, the title, due to the fact of starting drawing, the main dance, the title was going to be Dancing on My Own, which is the current subtitle. When someone dances, they feel free without being judged by anyone, and therefore it is easy to find themselves and feeling the happiness that inundates them. So both contexts, the Renaissance one and the finding oneself through the dancing, should be part of the title. Metamorphosis was released for the first time in the Solas short film festival about feminist architecture and girls on the 2nd of October 2021 in Madrid. And it is available for all publics from the 4th of October 2021 on my YouTube channel, Andrea Olivares Lopez, where everyone can enjoy it. The reactions and critics of the few fortunate people who already watched it before its launch were very varied and very rewarding. What interests me the most about a film or short film, it is its capacity to create feelings and to awake emotions that were asleep for a long time. This idea, plus the construction its spectator makes, are the two most rewarding things for an artist, and I am very grateful for it. Please don't forget to be part of this story. Metamorphosis is waiting for you.